Good morning, I'm Kim Ross. I'm running in the Casuarina Ward for the City of Casey in the upcoming October elections. And today is International Youth Day. So what a great time to talk about why I've decided to run promoting Youth First as a major focus. Primarily because, one, I have 3 adult children. Two, I'm a child and adolescent psychologist, and I have been for 17 years. So I've experienced youth difficulties across a wide range of areas, and I understand some of the gaps that happen, particularly in 16 to 25-year-olds, but also across the system. And local council does have a really important role to play in supporting youth mental health, local employment, recreation, social activities, and local pathways for children, particularly those who don't fit into mainstream school. And local council can support that in a range of different ways. Perhaps one of the lowest hanging fruit, one of the easiest things that council can do is to look at accessibility. It's one thing to say, hey, we have these great things that youth can do and be a part of, but how do youth get from here to here? What makes some young people know about these opportunities, relish these opportunities, and others either not know about them or find that there are barriers for access. And these barriers can be physical, cultural, mental health, familial, financial. There's a range of barriers that impede access to programs. So once again, no good saying, hey, we've got these fabulous things that youth can do, but then putting up these barriers. And I believe that a lot of times people aren't aware that barriers are there. So one of the things that I will do if you vote for me is to look at ways that we can easily make things more accessible. What I've found in campaigning and talking to residents and services is that there will be groups, there will be programs, there will be opportunities, but they're not filled. People aren't coming to them. So here's one way. This is an easy win, if you like, on International Youth Day, is to think about all the things that people might, I'll rephrase that. Think about the ways people access the information. Think about the barriers that they might have and how you can make it really easy. And you can go back to a few things. You can start with sensors. Can people read the information? Can they see the information? Do they understand the information? Are we putting the information out there in a way that is accessible for everyone? So, for example, in one of the last consultations about Max Pawsey Reserve, which is a reserve that young people come to for football, scouts, cricket, tennis, passive recreation use. There was only 15 responses to the last community consultation. But when we look a bit closer, consultation was only via digital means, social media, email, updates on website. There was nothing there put at the reserve, so people who were using the reserve were aware this was going on, and there was no other way the community was contacted about this. 15, in my door knocking, in my talking to people, I think I've spoken to more than 15 who have an opinion about Max Pawsey Reserve. Anyway, so that's one thing, accessibility. Are people getting the information? Is it reaching them? Can they understand it? How is it written? Does it make sense to those who, 1, might have reading difficulties, 2, English second language, or 3, intellectual disability, dyslexia? There's a whole range of things that impact on an individual's ability to understand written information. So that's number 1. Are we providing it in different formats? Is there a video? Is there an explanation? Are there graphics? Is the information easily understood? Is the information up to date? Does it answer all the questions that someone might have who has a mental health difficulty, or intellectual disability, or problems with words and communication? Right? Does the event tell us where, when, who, level of noise, accessibility, how long does it go for, how much does it cost, who is it for? Once again, throughout my campaign, when I'm following up information on websites, there are often this sort of information is not provided. So if you think about, hey, this could be a great thing to be a part of, and you look it up and you don't know what to do next, who to call, is it still on, how do you get there, what's the parking like? There's so many questions that can easily be answered by the people hosting the event. So one of the things I propose is that we have a youth framework for promoting events. And the best thing about thinking of youth first is it's applicable basically across the board. If a young person can go, hey, I know everything I need to know to make a decision about whether this event is great for me, then an adult will be able to look at that and make the same decision. They mightn't need that scaffolding support, but providing it is a win-win. That's one way we can support youth first. And there are many more. Are we providing the right services? Are we providing opportunities for youth to find their spark within the city of Casey? Are we planning that takes into account our youth's current and future needs? We must cater for all youth, not just those visible who are ready to step up and shine, and that is super important, but the invisible as well. We also have youth in the community who are carers. They're caring for parents, they're caring for siblings, they're taking on family responsibilities, they're acting as an interpreter. What are we doing for our youth who are carers? This is another part of our invisible youth that I commit to advocating for if you vote for me. To find out more about Youth First, go to my website, which is just simply www.kimross.au. Connect with me, send me a message, send me an email. Let me know what your experience is like as a youth in Casey and what you would like to see happen for youth.